So hello everyone and welcome to Career Launcher. So in today's class, we are going to discuss the third part of the quiz on Indian Constitution. So for the past 3 weeks, on Sunday at 8 p.m. we are doing this series where actually we are discussing the quiz on Indian Constitution. And am I audible? I think I'm audible, visible. If yes, then please write yes in the comments. So basically हम लोग इसमें कर क्या रहे हैं कि I give you questions and you have to answer it. And this class is a two-way dialogue where I keep on asking questions and you have to respond it actively in the comment section. You should be active in the comment section so that there'll be a two-way process. Okay. So this is third part. If someone is interested in watching part 1 and part 2, then of course on the same YouTube channel it is available. So first, please subscribe to our channel. तो आप हमारे चैनल को सब्सक्राइब कर दीजिए. And once you go to the channel on playlist, there is a playlist. ये separate playlist बना, इस पे view full playlist पे click कीजिए. You will get the separate playlist. ठीक है. So go and watch it. Part 1 and 2 we are done. This is the third part that we are going to start today. Yes. Good evening. Welcome to the class. I think I'm audible, visible. Everything is fine. आवाज आ रही है? Voice is clear, है ना? Okay. So let us begin with today's class with the question number 1. So question number 1 says, which of the following is the date mentioned in the preamble? Your options are 26 January 1950, 26 November 1949, 15th August 1947, none of the above. Date mentioned in preamble. Yes, I'm expecting everyone to answer it. Yes, B is the right answer, 26th November 1949. And because of which 26th November is observed or celebrated as a particular day. What is that day called? उसको एक particular day से याद किया जाता है. What is that day? Law Day. Earlier it was called as Law Day. ठीक है. I think after 2015-16 it is called as Constitution Day. Now they are using the word Constitution Day. Okay. So B is the right answer to this question. 26 November 1949. Yes, SPDK, you are right. Constitution Day. So आप देख सकते हो we are talking about the day, है ना? So here is 26th day of November 1949, है ना? So this is actually the date mentioned in the preamble. Okay, so ये आपको पता होना चाहिए. Let's move on to the next one. Which article of the Indian Constitution deals with abolition of untouchability? ये कभी-कभी डायरेक्टली ऐसे क्वेश्चन आ जाते हैं कभी-कभी एग्जाम में, है ना? Article 14, Article 17, Article 21, Article 18. Abolition of untouchability. Yes. So the right answer is option B, है ना? So abolition of untouchability, आप देख सकते हो. Untouchability is abolished and its practice in any form is forbidden. है ना? The enforcement of any disability arising out of untouchability shall be an offence punishable in accordance with the law. Yes, SPDK and Rani, you both are right. Huh? You both are right. Huh? B is the right answer. Let's move on to the next one. Which of the following articles deals with right to life? This is very, very, very important. And this is the article that has been expanded the most. By Supreme Court of India. ठीक है. Yes, the right answer is option C, Article 21. Yes, SPDK, you are right. So actually, Article 21 says, है ना, a state shall not deny right to life and personal liberty cannot be denied, है ना, right to life and personal liberty, except according to the procedure established by law. है ना, ये लिखा ना. Right to life and personal liberty. So C is the right answer to this question. तो आप देख सकते हो. Protection of life and personal liberty. No person shall be deprived of his life or personal liberty except according to the procedure established by law. ठीक है? That is what is being talked. इसको ना बहुत expand किया गया है Supreme Court के द्वारा. So for example, Article 21 also talks about. Can you please tell me few things related with द एक्सपैंडेड डेफिनेशन ऑफ आर्टिकल 21, कुछ बता सकते हो, एक दो एक्सप्लेनेशन? जैसे एक बहुत फेमस हुआ था, राइट टू प्राइवेसी इज अ फंडामेंटल राइट अंडर आर्टिकल 21, विद जजमेंट ऑफ सुप्रीम कोर्ट ऑफ इंडिया. यस, राइट टू प्राइवेसी, वेरी गुड. केएस पुट्टास्वामी केस है ना. हाँ, राइट टू लिव विद डिग्निटी, राइट टू प्राइवेसी, है ना. सो ऑल दीज आर, एक्चुअली मैंने एक पूरा सेपरेट क्लास लिया है, where I have discussed it. You can search this Article 21 career launcher, you will get this video, right to life and personal liberty. Okay. तो इसमें I discussed about yes, right to livelihood. Yes, very good. SPDK, right. Right to life, livelihood, right to privacy, right to shelter, many things. Right to clean environment, है ना. Then right to have clean water, air, water, सब कुछ आ जाओ इसमें, है ना, etc. Right to marry a person of your choice, right. That is also under Article 21. So मैंने इस क्लास में पूरा डिटेल बताया था about Article 21. So go and watch it, and this is actually very important. Article 21 is generally considered as very important. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. When was the 44th Amendment Act enacted? 1975, 72, 76, 78. I hope you all can answer it. It's very easy. We had discussed time and again. And which government was there? Yes, SPTK, you're right. It is the right answer, 1978. And it was during the time of Janata Party. So D is the right answer. Achha, this is the amendment which removed one fundamental right from Part 3. Yes. This is which fundamental right I'm talking about. There is one fundamental right that was removed by this amendment. Which fundamental right is being talked about? हाँ, very good. So basically Article 19(1)(f) or 31 में, right to property was mentioned. So that was removed from fundamental right, and now today it is a constitutional right under Article 300 capital A. Okay. Please, right. Operation Sindoor पे separate class. I have taken 2 classes SPTK. One class, go on the live section and watch it. I have taken classes. One class was actually on INS Vikrant. ठीक है. And another class जिसमें मैंने बताया है, thumbnail पे लिखा होगा S-400 BrahMos. ठीक है. And all those missile systems, Rafale jets, एक thumbnail पे लिखा होगा, देखा जाके. So these 2 videos I have made. This is related with Operation Sindoor only. ठीक है. Thumbnail हो सकता नहीं लिखा हो Operation Sindoor, but these 2 are related with Operation Sindoor. तो आप live section में जाओ, go to the live section and watch those classes. INS Vikrant, and before that there is a class where I have talked about this. Do you need beyond this? नहीं, उसके beyond तो, और if anything news will come, we will update. ठीक है. अगर कुछ और आएगा, आप हिंदू एनालिसिस देख रहे होगे सर का, गोविंद सर का, उसमें भी डिस्कस करा रहे होंगे. Other than that, if anything will come, we will discuss. ठीक है. Okay, let's move on further. Which of the following is called as mini constitution and why? इस पे ही मैंने सेपरेट पूरा वीडियो बनाया था. I have discussed separately about the mini constitution. Yes, Ananya Singh, SPDK, you both right. 42nd Amendment, 1976 is the right answer to this question. It happened during emergency. Okay. So Indira Gandhi was the Prime Minister. अच्छा, emergency कब impose किया गया था? So we had seen. अच्छा, एक चीज और बताओ. How many national emergencies were imposed in India till now? कितनी बार नेशनल इमरजेंसी इंडिया में लगा है? Yes, 3. What are those? Yes. So basically एक 1962 war में India versus China, 1971 India versus Pakistan war, and 1975. So this one actually became very, you can say, infamous. So this was imposed on 25th June 1975 till 23rd March 1977. Okay. Now इसके दौरान, इसके बीच में बहुत कुछ हुआ. So a lot of things happened during this event. The most important is 42nd Amendment 1976 also happened during that time. एक और बहुत famous judgment है 1976 का, that was being criticized a lot, and that is about ADM Jabalpur case. बहुत famous case है और famously called as habeas corpus case. ठीक है. So ADM Jabalpur case or habeas corpus case. So here actually what happened, I'm not going in that detail, but you should know this judgment is being criticized a lot. Now, why I'm emphasizing it? Because the date, 25th June 1975. If you add 50 years, it will become 25th June 2025. So 50 years have been completed. Okay? So 25th June 1975 में 50 add कर दो. It will become 25th June 2025, right? So now 50 years of national emergency we have seen. The third one, the most criticized one, you can say. So that is why there are highly likelihood that there would be questions from here. ठीक है, क्योंकि 50 साल पूरा हुआ है. Why I'm saying, देखो 1971 में Bangladesh became independent. So if you add 50 years, 2021, in CLAT 2021, they had asked a separate complete question on Sheikh Mujibur Rahman. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was given Gandhi Peace Prize. Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was father of nation, was Bangladesh. So the entire passage was there. Why? Because 50 years got completed. Okay. So similarly, this can again be asked. This can be asked now that we have completed the 50 years of the national emergency imposed in 1975. So this year, most likely it will be asked in some exam or the other. Okay. किसी न किसी exam में पूछेंगे. Okay. National emergency is related, so that's why it becomes important. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. How many members are nominated to Rajya Sabha? And I think it's very easy question now. I've discussed so many times, so I'm expecting you all to answer. The answer is 12, है ना? Yes, Ananya Singh, very good, is the right answer. From literature, science, art, and social service, right? SPDK, you're also right. Let's move on to the next one. Which among the following amendments designated Delhi as National Capital Territory? 63rd Amendment, 69th Amendment, 74th Amendment, 76th Amendment. What is the right answer? The right answer is yes, 69th Amendment, and it inserted a very famous article which governs that, which is the backbone for Delhi governance or governance in Delhi. Which article is being talked about? (239A). Yes, SPDK, Ananya, Adarsha, you are right. 239, capital A, capital A. We have discussed it. So एक तरह से revision भी हो जाएगा, है ना? The next is, who was the chairman of drafting committee of Indian Constitution? Very easy question. Jawaharlal Nehru, Rajendra Prasad, Bhimrao Ambedkar, none of the above. What is the right answer? Yes, Ananya, SPDK, Adarsha, you are right. Chairman drafting committee, Bhimrao Ambedkar. C is the right answer, है ना? ये तो आपको पता होगा, हम लोगों ने कई बार डिस्कस किया. And interim chairman वगैरह अगर पूछोगे तो पता होना चाहिए. Sachidanand Sinha. President is Dr. Rajendra Prasad. And a chairman of drafting committee is Dr. Bhimrao Ambedkar. अच्छा, ये SCF का क्या full form है? He belong to which political party? SCF, it is written. What is the meaning of that? Scheduled Caste Federation. ठीक है. C is the right answer. ठीक है. And कभी-कभी कहीं-कहीं पूछ लेते हैं कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल एडवाइजर कौन थे? B.N. Rao. So that you should know. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Which of the following is called as Magna Carta of the Indian Constitution? Very, 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 very important. Magna Carta. Anyone? And what is the history behind it? Yes, Ananya, SPDK, you both right. Fundamental rights, which is part 3. ऐसे भी लिख देते, which part of part they will give you in the option. Now, what is Magna Carta? So what happened was 1500 something के बाद 1215 के बाद let me explain. देखो होता ये generally the rights are, this is freedom of speech, rights, fundamental rights, all are given in democracy, right? But what happened generally in kingship or dictatorship, you will not find rights being given to citizens. So what happened was, okay, there was a king of England. We are talking about 1215, so almost 800 years back. There was a king who had given some rights in England, and that right was called as Magna Carta. Okay, because generally it is surprising that king, how can a king give this? But you should know it. Just that is more than enough to know. Okay, king had actually given some rights. It was called as Magna Carta. So whenever we talk about fundamental rights or rights in any country, we refer to it as Magna Carta. Okay. So something similar is Bill of Rights is there in USA. From where I have discussed borrowing features of the Indian Constitution, I had discussed there. That fundamental rights have been taken from USA. The current system of fundamental rights which we have in India have been taken from there. Okay. The next is, which article of the Indian Constitution is called as heart and soul? I think AILET ने पूछा हुआ भी है. Heart and soul of the Indian Constitution. Article 21, 32, 17, 14. What is the right answer? Yes, Ananya and SPDK, you both right. And who said this? Who? Yes, Adarsh, you are also right. Who said this? That Article 32 is heart and soul of the Indian Constitution. Yes, it was said by Dr. Bhim Rao Ambedkar. Yes. Yes, Ananya, SPDK, Adarsh, you are right. And what is Article 32 related with? क्या चीज से related है? Can anyone little bit explain about 32? Actually, it is related with writs. Writs basically, yes, constitutional remedies, of course. So, right to constitutional remedies, okay, 6th fundamental right, right to constitutional remedies. Very good, Ananya. SPDK, you both right. Right to constitutional remedies. Okay. Yes. This is the 6th fundamental right, and without this fundamental right, the other 5 fundamental right has no meaning, because this is where actually the power of enforcement of fundamental right comes. So who has the authority to enforce? Which institution has the authority to ensure the protection or guarantor? This institution is called as guarantor of fundamental rights. Which institution is being talked about? Yes, Supreme Court of India. So यहीं से बात निकलती है, guarantor of fundamental rights. Yes, Ananya, SPDK both right. B is the right answer. ठीक है, तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट अप्रोच कर सकते हैं 32 के अंदर, है ना. So these are the writs that you all should be knowing. There are 5 prominent writs. Okay, let's move on to the next one. The freedom of speech and expression is mentioned where? 21, 14, 19. 14 दो बार लिखा गया, 17 हो, 18 होगा जी. Freedom of speech and expression is mentioned in Yes, Ananya, SPDK, Adarsha, you are right. C is the right answer. अच्छा, आर्टिकल 19 में फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच के अलावा और कुछ भी मेंशन है? इज देयर एनीथिंग एल्स मेंशन? एनी अदर फंडामेंटल राइट? If yes, then what is that? Yes, फंडामेंटल फ्रीडम्स. देखो ये सब मेंशन है आर्टिकल 19 में जो है ना. स्टेट शैल हैव, देखो फ्रीडम ऑफ स्पीच एंड एक्सप्रेशन तो हो गया. राइट टू असेंबल पीसफुली विदाउट आर्म्स. मूव रिसाइड इन योर पार्ट. यस, वेरी गुड, गुड गुड. यस, अनन्या, एसपीडीके, यू बोथ राइट. हाँ. Right to form association, union, cooperative society, right to move freely throughout the territory of India, है ना. ये तो हटा दिया गया, ये right to property था. And right to reside and settle in any part of India and practice profession, carry out any occupation, trade or business. ठीक है. Okay, that is what you should be knowing about. This is Article 19. Now, is there any reasonable restriction on it? So there are reasonable restriction which is mentioned in Article 19 clause 2. ठीक है, आप जाके पढ़ लेना. There are 8 reasonable restrictions also. So freedom of speech does not mean whatever you want you can speak. It is not like that. है ना. Freedom of speech का ये मतलब नहीं होता जो मन चाहे बोल दे, उसका कुछ लिमिटेशन है. ठीक है. So these are mentioned in Article 19 clause 2. ठीक है. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Which of the following is considered as precursor of preamble? Nehru Report, Objective Resolution, Government of India Act 1935, none of the above. It was something similar to the preamble, and it was brought before it, है ना. The right answer is option B, Objective Resolution, and B is the right answer to this question. Yes, Ananya, SPDK, Akshat Verma, you all are right, है ना. Objective Resolution. Okay, B is the right answer to this question. तो अगर आप देखोगे, so it was brought by Jawaharlal Nehru during Constituent Assembly, 13 December 1946, है ना. So it also talks something similar to that, है ना. Sovereign, independent republic. This type of word is mentioned in preamble also, है ना. उसी टाइप की बात कर रही है ना, कहा जा रहा है ना. Then equal self-government, protection of interests of tribes, minorities, depressed classes, welfare, etc. है ना. So these types of something similar ideas are mentioned in today also in the preamble. ठीक है. Okay, let's move on to the next one. Which of the following is not mentioned in the preamble? Sovereign, socialist, democratic, dominion. कौन सा टर्म, ये वर्ड जो है preamble में mention नहीं है? हाँ, वेरी गुड. डोमिनियन वर्ड नहीं मेंशन है. तो अगर आप देखोगे, सो दीज आर द, अगर जो प्रोमिनेंट वर्ड्स हैं, सॉवरेन, सोशलिस्ट, सेकुलर, डेमोक्रेटिक, रिपब्लिक, जस्टिस, लिबर्टी, इक्वालिटी, फ्रैटर्निटी, ये सब टर्म मेंशन है. कभी कभी ऐसे पूछ देते हैं, which of the following term is not mentioned, which is of the following is not the idea mentioned in the preamble. Now let's move on to the next one, and this is very 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 important. ये बहुत सारे एग्जाम से पूछे जाते हैं. Which of the following words were added in preamble in 42nd Amendment 1976? Yes, Ananya Singh and SPDK, you both right. Socialist, secular and integrity. Democratic word already था, ये तो होगा नहीं. Democratic word था पहले से. Socialist, secular, sovereign, नहीं, sovereign भी word था. These 3 words were added. Socialist, secular and integrity. This is very very important. So these are asked in many exam. तो आपको एकदम पता होना चाहिए, है ना. SSI, socialist, secular, integrity. B is the right answer. अब मैं दिखाता हूँ. Socialist, secular और यहाँ पर integrity. ठीक है. So these 3 words which I have highlighted with red, these 3 were not originally present. They were added later on. Okay, and that is what you should be knowing about. Okay, let's move on, है ना. तो ये याद रखिएगा तीनों. Before that, if you see the original preamble, these 3 words were not mentioned. So let's move on to the next one. The idea of fundamental rights have been taken from where? USA, USSR, Australia, Ireland. I've just, I think 10 minutes back, 5 or 10 minutes back, I have said when I was talking about Magna Carta. Yes, USA का कौन सा Bill of Rights? Yes, Akshat, SPDK, Ananya, you all are right, है ना? Bill of Rights. The idea of fundamental rights were taken from here. So A is the right answer to this question. ठीक है ना? Okay. Or concept of judicial review also we have taken from here, USA. The concept of the process of impeachment of President of India, the process है ना of judiciary and all, especially judicial review etc. भी USA लिया गया. ठीक है? A is the right answer. Let's move on to the next one. The idea of fundamental duties have been taken from where? ये कहाँ से लिया गया? बताओ. कौन से पार्ट में ये मेंशन है? बता सकते हो? Which part of the Indian Constitution talks about it? Yes, we have taken, yes, SPDK and Ananya, you both are right. We have taken from Soviet Union, है ना? USSR कहलाता था, Soviet Union for Socialist Republic. The idea of fundamental duties have been taken from where? Part 4A is the right answer now. Part 4A and Soviet Union. You're right, Ananya. Very good. SPDK, right? Part 4A talks about it. We have borrowed it. And अच्छा आपको पता है this was not originally present, later on added. मैंने आपको बताया जहाँ capital A, capital B ये सब लिखा हो, later on added by dash amendment. Which amendment is being talked about? बताओ. कौन से amendment से ये add किया गया था आपको बताना है. Yes, 42nd amendment, right? नहीं, at 6th amendment से तो right to education से related था ना. At the 6th amendment से article 21 capital A was added, जो कि right to education की बात करता है. ठीक है. ओके. पार्ट 4A में एक ही आर्टिकल है ना, आर्टिकल 51 कैपिटल A, and this was added by 42nd amendment during the time of emergency. वही जो मिनी कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन जिसको कहते हैं, है ना. I have made a separate class on that. आप जाना YouTube पे ऐसे सर्च करना 42nd amendment career launcher ऐसे सर्च करना, you will get a video. ठीक है. Here I have discussed in detail about all the decisions taken during 42nd amendment. That would be very, very beneficial for you all. Okay. Okay. The next one is the ideals of justice in the preamble have been taken from where? UK, USSR, Australia, Ireland. Preamble में justice word mentioned है. कहाँ से लिया गया? Yes, SPD correct. USSR से. तो अगर आप खुद देखोगे, और मैंने कई बार बताया भी, जस्टिस में कौन सा? सोशल, इकोनॉमिक, पॉलिटिकल. तो सोशल जस्टिस की बात कौन करेगा? ऐसे आपको सोचना. So we'll be talking about social justice. सोशलिज्म का आइडिया कहाँ किसके पास था? सोवियत यूनियन के पास ही तो था. यूएसएसआर है ना. ठीक है. सो द राइट आंसर इज बी इज द राइट आंसर. यस अनन्या, राइट. You all are right. Very good. Let's move on to the next one. The idea of concurrent list, trade and commerce has been taken from where? Plural हो गया. USA, USSR, Australia, Ireland. Yes, SPD correct. Australia is the right answer to this question, है ना? So ये सब चीजें we have borrowed it from Australia. Concurrent list, freedom of trade between states, है ना? I think article 301 में होगा somewhere, है ना? Concurrent list, provision of joint session, है ना? That is what you should know. Yes, Mehak Sharma, SPD के Ananya, you are right. She is the right answer. Okay. Let's move on to the next one. Which of the following article talks about right to education? अभी मैंने बताया भी थोड़ा देर पहले. And it was added by which amendment? देखो अगर ये वाला नहीं mentioned, if this is not mentioned, then go for option A, because the Supreme Court said that right to education is a fundamental right under Article 21. ठीक है. After that, what happened was the amendment happened. Dash amendment happened. Yes, 86. Very good. After that, the Supreme Court before I think PMA Pi Foundation case को judgment था. इसमें Supreme Court ने कहा कि right to education is a fundamental right for 6 to 14 years, है ना? उसकी बात क्या हुआ कि Parliament passed Constitutional Amendment 86 Constitutional Amendment and separately actually it added a new article 21 capital A. ठीक है. तो अगर 21 capital A option है mention है go for that. Otherwise article 21 also because the Supreme Court had said. ठीक है. तो सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने मैंने आपको बताया भी, आई हैव मेड अ सेपरेट वीडियो ऑन आर्टिकल 21. सुप्रीम कोर्ट ने खूब एक्सपैंड किया 21 को. ठीक है. इट हैज एक्सपैंडेड अ लॉट. ओके, दैट इज व्हाट यू शुड बी नोइंग, है ना? 6 to 14 इयर्स के लिए एलिमेंट्री एजुकेशन, दैट इज व्हाट यू शुड बी नोइंग. The next one is which of the following article talks about Uniform Civil Code, which is a DPSP? Article 46, 44, 37, 48. Yes, 44. Recently, it was in the news because it was implemented in one state. Which state I'm talking about? एक स्टेट में उसको इम्प्लीमेंट किया गया था, इसलिए वो न्यूज में था. आप बता सकते हो which state I'm talking about? Yes, Uttarakhand. Very good. SPD के Ananya Singh, you got right. Uttarakhand. And which was the first state to have UCC? Yes, Mehak Sharma, you are also right. Goa. इससे पहले गोवा के पास, हाँ, because Goa was actually a part of Portugal, है ना? Portuguese territory till 1961, है ना? So they were following their own laws, previous laws. So वही से चला आ रहा था, है ना? So that was the first one. This is the next, Uttarakhand, है ना? ये पूछ सकते हैं Uniform Civil Code and all. Yes. Let's move on to the next one. What do you mean by the term impeachment? And कौन से article में, which article talks about it? Yes, Article 61. Very good. And it represents removal of president, है ना? So B is the right answer. I hope you are aware of that. Yes, Mehak Sharma, Ananya, SPD के Rani, you are right. B is the right answer. ठीक है. Procedure for the removal of a president mentioned in Article 61. ठीक है. पता जब CLAT ने ये पैटर्न चेंज किया था, तो फर्स्ट सैंपल पेपर जब 2020 में they had come up with the first sample paper, उसमें ये क्वेश्चन था, which article talks about impeachment of president? ठीक है. So this you should be knowing. अब देखो, it talks about procedure for impeachment of the president. The next is who is the ex officio chairman of Rajya Sabha? Ex officio chairman मतलब क्या होता है? By virtue of. It means whosoever is the holding this post, one of them है ना, either of these four. I mean, one of them is the answer. Whosoever is holding this post will automatically become the chairman of Rajya Sabha. Which person is being talked about here, है ना? बताओ. Ah, very good. B. Right, right. The right answer is vice president. And who is the vice president of India? Yes, Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar. Yes, yes, Ananya, you're right. So B is the right answer. And Article 64 में लिखा हुआ है ex officio chairman. And yes, Meha SPDK, you're right. Who is the Speaker of Lok Sabha? Yes, Mr. Om Birla. So B is the right answer. ठीक है. तो आप देख सकते हो जो ग्रीन कारपेट होता है, दिस इज लोकसभा, रेड कारपेट इज राज्यसभा. ठीक है. तो यहाँ पे जो आदमी बैठते हैं, दिस इज एक्चुअली स्पीकर ऑफ लोकसभा, और यहाँ पे जो आदमी बैठते हैं, ही इज चेयरमैन ऑफ राज्यसभा. ठीक है. दैट इज व्हाट यू शुड बी डूइंग. ठीक है. सो हियर इज मिस्टर ओम बिरला, द स्पीकर ऑफ लोकसभा, and here is Mr. Jagdeep Dhankar, the Vice President of India or the Chairman of Rajya Sabha. Okay? Yes. Let's move on to the next one. Which of the following term is mentioned in the Constitution for the word budget? Is there any specific reason for the color of the carpet? I don't know the reason, Mehak Sharma, but generally this is the practice. Uska reason kya pata nahi, but yes, actually, an annual financial statement. This line is mentioned, and which article we mentioned it? Annual financial statement mentioned where? Article 112 है ना. जब बजट वगैरह न्यूज में आता है, अक्सर डिस्कशन में होता है. So B is the right answer, है ना. Annual financial statement talks about this. Yes, Akshat Verma, right. The next is which of the following talks about money bill, definition of money bill? Article 110, 132, 191, 249. What is the right answer? Yes, very good. Yes, Akshat Verma, Mehak Sharma, you are right. 110. Definition of the money bills, here it is mentioned. That is what you should be knowing about. So isko thoda sa padh lena. So this is all about today's class. Thank you everyone. Now I'll be meeting you tomorrow at 8 p.m. We are having a class, where I'm discussing. Last class we had discussed about Gandhi Ji Satyagraha. So tomorrow we will discuss about January month current affairs. Okay? So tomorrow 8 p.m. I'll be meeting you. Okay? So please subscribe to our channel. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day.